So, the economy is in the tank, and the food prices are going up, and it's been happening for a long time. I've actually been talking about this before. I think way back I was talking about how Pringles cans had been changing. Like, they would start the Pringles, like, way down in the can before you'd actually start having Pringles, and it was like the Pringles were starting to be thinner. You could see holes in them sometimes, and then I'm assuming it's because of me that they now have this little thing on the side of the can that says filled all the way to the top or something like that. I wish I had an actual Pringles can I could show you. That's thanks to me, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I did that. But I also know about how Pizza Hut had changed since the 80s. It used to be better. But I had a pizza the other day. I had a picture of it on my phone. I wish I'd downloaded that one. Yeah, I've got it on here. I got like one of those Tony's pizzas or something. It was like, yeah, here it is. Here's the pizza pan, and the pizza does not go all the way to the edge. It's like smaller. This was like a brick oven style, so maybe that's why, but I think it's just like everything. They're trying to get money in by making things smaller so that they don't use as much resources. Anyway, there are certain things that I just don't eat anymore because I've been priced out of it. My favorite things, I don't eat anymore. Ben & Jerry's ice cream used to be like my favorite ice cream. I haven't had it in 5-10 years. I don't even know. They used to be like $2.50 a pint, or is it a pint? Yeah, a pint. Then it went up to like $3 a pint, and I was still in. But then, like, a gallon of ice cream back then was like $3.50, like those little rectangular gallons of ice cream. So why am I paying the same amount price for a pint that you pay for a gallon of like not Ben & Jerry's? And then it went up to like $3.50, and now it's like $4 or something. Like, maybe you can catch it on sale, but it's just not worth it. I'm just like, I'm out. And then frozen pizzas started going up. Like the Tombstones. I stopped eating the Tombstone pizzas. I used to love those. Started getting the Great Value Rising Crusts, and then those went to like $3, and then went to like $3.50, and like $3.50 is about the most I'll pay for a frozen pizza. Now they're like $4. I'm just like, guess I can't eat that anymore. I'm out. So I had that one like couple of Tony's pizzas, which is like still $3, but it's a far, far inferior pizza. Not worth it anymore. I was like, Pizza Hut, this is the best pizza in the world. I love it. Love Pizza Hut. I would promote them all the time, except I can't afford to eat there anymore. It was like the only time I could eat there is if you get one of those $10 any coupons, like any pizzas for like $10. And then now it's just like they never have those coupons anymore. And ever since COVID, they have no buffet. You can't even go in and get like the $7 buffet. And they just don't have buffet anymore. I go in there every time. It's like the buffet is empty. Anyway, I've been seeing all these videos on Facebook and whatever, like farmers. They say how prices are going to keep going up and it's going to get worse because they show like, if you're a cow farmer, you go get your cow feed and it's like double or triple what it was last year. Then they're showing like how much this used to cost like $10,000, now it costs $30,000 or whatever. So why? I guess farmers, they don't really have a choice because they have all this infrastructure that they've already built in, that they've spent money on, like they can't just quit farming because they've dedicated all this money to it. So they can't really boycott the feed industry and like make the feed prices go down. I don't even know what causes the feed prices to go up. Is it because the machines and stuff, that the gas prices is higher for like running the tractors or whatever that farms the feed? Or is it just because the inflation of the dollar is going up, so the dollar's worth less? Is it everything kind of combined? What's the main problem? How do we get to the bottom of this? Because then you got the problem where if the restaurants would boycott the farmers and say, hey, we're not going to pay like triple what we used to pay for chickens or hamburger patties, then they would have to come down, right? But like, then you get to the end consumer. Like, we could start boycotting these restaurants. what I do. I don't eat places anymore that I can't afford. Everybody else apparently just keeps going along with it. Like, they keep raising prices and raising prices. And, like, I'm talking to this woman at work. She comes in with, like, this little sandwich or something she bought at the Speedway or some kind of, like, gas station. It's like, yeah, this was, like, $6 or $7. It's crazy. I'm like, why did you buy it then? Don't buy it if it's crazy prices. You're feeding into this. Like, everybody that keeps paying for stuff is making the prices stay the way they are. Like, even if something happened to, like, lower the prices, if they get us used to paying these high prices, they're not going to lower the prices if they can still get us to pay those prices. Supply and demand is supposed to work that way, but it doesn't really anymore. So, you got different stages between the farmers and the restaurants and the consumer where you could have these boycotts to make the price stay down low, but I guess you just can't with the price of gas or the value of the dollar. I don't know what the big deal is, but it's like, are we going to start having people just going hungry? And do rich people know what it's like to actually be starving and to actually... Do they know what... They like, think starvation is like, oh, I was just a little bit hungry the other day. That must be what starvation is like. It's when you really want to eat something really bad. But I heard a story. I was listening to... Shane Gillis and Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. They were talking about some situation. I forgot if this is in like a war-torn country or something like that, where they'd starved a bunch of kids. Man, what were they talking about? There was like 4-year-old kids, and they were so hungry that the kids just kind of piled on one kid and started eating them. And that kid, like, saw them eating him, and he's like got hungry, and he started eating like his own skin or something that was like peeling off of them, and they were eating it. It was a crazy story of severe starvation, like a Nazi internment camp kind of level. I hope it doesn't get to that level. But anyway, I wanted to talk about restaurants. I'd already talked about Pizza Hut. This is just kind of helped me remember restaurants. Another one that's a big deal is KFC. KFC is probably the best fried chicken. But the 11 herbs and spices gives me acid reflux every time I eat it. So if I ate it like 8 to 12 hours before I went to bed, I'd probably be alright. But I know it's going to be a problem. So, also, whenever I'm going to KFC, that's another one that I haven't eaten there. And, oh man, it was back when I lived in Lexington, so 8 years probably, maybe when I was early. 2 or 3 years before I moved. It's probably about 8 years since I've eaten KFC. My favorite chicken? I haven't eaten in 8 years. Same with Lee's. Lee's is not as bad on my stomach. Probably 6-7 years since I had Lee's. Famous recipe. And then you all know about Popeyes, because y'all sent me freaking 5 orders of 2 Popeyes chicken sandwiches in one night. Had a whole fridge full of sides. The chicken sandwich, the original chicken sandwich, is pretty good. Especially since I don't like Chick-fil-A. Everybody loves Chick-fil-A, but like the bun of Chick-fil-A is too big of a bun. I don't really like it. But the other Popeyes stuff, like the fried chicken, not that great. The mashed potatoes and gravy, so greasy. A little bit too, like, home cooked kind of a taste to it. I don't know. I don't like it. Little Caesars pizza. They're still pretty affordable. They got the hot and readies. Although, if you want to get a supreme large pizza anywhere, it's going to be like $20. It's crazy. You can get a medium, I think, for like $7.99 at Little Caesars, but it's not as good. Little Caesars is kind of like shit tier pizza, but the cheesy bread for like $5 or something, really good deal. Although I went there the other day and I ordered 2 orders of cheesy bread, and they didn't give me any sauce. I went out to my car. I was like, oh, there's no sauce. I went back in. I said, hey, I didn't get any sauce. The guy's like, oh, it's $1 something a cup. He gives me 2 cups. Like, I don't feel like arguing with you. I'll go ahead and pay this extra $2 because I'm hungry. But then I went back like a few days later in the daytime, ordered cheesy bread, and they gave me the sauce with it. So it's kind of hit or miss. Then I went back there the other day. The website says they close at 1 in the morning on a Saturday or whatever. Friday or Saturday. I don't remember which one it was. Drive-thru was closed. There's people in there at the drive-thru window. I go up to the door. The door's locked. So it's like they're still doing delivery orders or something, but I don't know what the deal was. Maybe I should have reported them. Long John Silver's is still good, but the one we had here closed down. So the prices are good, but then you get there and you realize that the meal doesn't include a drink, so then you got to pay for the drink separately, and you're like, shit. They got me on the drink. Domino's, I go on their website and the price is too high. Yeah, it's always like you start to make a pizza and you put 2 toppings on and maybe it's kind of affordable. And like if you go for that 3rd topping, it's just like crazy. You might as well just not even bother. The deals didn't come out. The prices were different when you would ring it up at the end, and then the deal shows and stuff. Just it was weird. What was the other one? Wendy's is still pretty good, but Wendy's French fries, they're a little bit too healthy. They're not greasy and salty enough, I think, if it's what I'm remembering. Burgers have always been pretty solid at Wendy's, though. I've always been a Burger King man. If you get the coupons, it's probably okay. Burger King is probably pretty much all around about the best burger and fries you can get. If you go to McDonald's, they really got the double quarter pounder with cheese. I've always said is one of my favorites, but McDonald's has changed since COVID. There are no workers. Nobody goes inside McDonald's anymore. If you haven't, try it. You go in there. There's these robot kiosks now. You have to enter your order. There's nobody at the counter. You enter your order. They make it and bring it to you, and then they take your money, I think, or you put it in your credit card. They're trying to get away from contactless, kind of spreading germs and stuff. Kind of weird. Yeah, really the only things I can afford now is Taco Bell, White Castle, and Rally's, if I have coupons. That's pretty much the only place I eat anymore. Subway, maybe. Yeah, every now and then I go to Subway. But Arby's is just kind of meh. They got that Italian sub that's pretty good at Arby's. But all these other places, Dairy Queen's pretty high. Especially milkshakes and stuff. If you go to Sonic, my gripe with Sonic has been they got the greatest drinks, the greatest selection of any kind of drinks you can get. And sometimes they'll have this happy hour thing where I'll order a strawberry slush or something, and then I'll get the Route 44, the biggest one you can get. And it'll be oh, it's $1.20 or something. I'm like, what? I got 2 of them if I knew it was that cheap. But then you never know when it's going to be. You never know when happy hour is. They don't really advertise it. And it's just the milkshakes don't count. So you order a milkshake and it'll be $6 or something. But then the slushie's $1. It's what are your prices? What is all this? The burgers and stuff are really high. But the drinks sometimes are okay. I used to love when I got my car for the first time. I'm in high school. I'm like, oh man, I can just go to Sonic, get me an extra long chili cheese coney with some tots or something, I'm you can do whatever you want now. You can, don't have to eat lunch food. You can just go to Sonic and get food in high school. It's dope. But now everything's so high, you can't live the life that you thought you were going to live. All these other places like Denny's and stuff, don't really have those around here. What else we got here? Boston Martinez, Sbarro, that's kind of a mall thing. In-N-Out we don't have on this side. It's a West Coast thing. Yeah, I think everybody overrates In-N-Out with the animal style and all that weird hidden menu crap. I don't think it's got great. It can't be that great. Just like putting chili on something. It's just like Papa John's. Is that? They're pretty expensive, right? They're probably like my second favorite behind Pizza Hut. Over Domino's and Little Caesars, definitely. There's a few other pizza places that kind of pop up in between. Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, I don't really care about donut places that much. Chipotle. I've never been to a Chipotle. I don't know what it even is. I know it's some kind of like Mexican. Isn't it also like a Mexican sauce or like a type of salsa? Or what is Chipotle? Chipotle is a sauce, right? Quiznos, Jimmy John's, Schlotsky's. It's all kind of the same crap. What is that one? IHOP. Nathan's Hot Dogs. Seems kind of like a waste. Frisch's Big Boy's pretty good. Taco Tico. Crystals. We don't have the Krispy Kreme. What else is around here? The barbecue places are pretty good. Trying to think if I have any more gripes. Oh, another thing about Sonic is they got those little tiny straws. They got the good milkshakes, so they put chunks of fruit and stuff in them, but they give you little thin straws that you can't suck the fruit through. They got those straws with like the spoons on the end, or they used to have those. Yeah. Freaking Pringles. I think it's getting better. I don't know, like, what we're gonna do. The prices, everything. I love Hardee's. Never have coupons. I go to Hardee's. Like my boss gave me a sausage biscuit from Hardee's this morning. It's good. Captain D's. I think we got a Captain D's, but it's like I've never really liked Captain D's because Long John Silver's has always been better. Also, I wish Long John Silver's would go back to the old '80s style with the ropes and those things you steer a ship with and all the kind of the decor, kind of like a Joe's Crab Shack. What a 5-star chili? What is that? Why do they have that? We have a restaurant just for chili. I'm sure they got other stuff, right? Whataburger I've never had. Five Guys I don't think I've ever had. Smash Burger I may have had. You get all these steakhouses. Looking at another picture now. Buffalo Wild Wings. What's this one got? Somebody that I've never heard of. Never been to a cheesecake factory. I don't know what Chickies and Pete's is. If you've ever heard of that, let me know what the heck that is. Famous Dave's Legendary Pit Barbecue. Never been there. Chili's Baby Back Ribs. I don't think I've had Chili's before. Western Sizzlin'. Remember that? Western Sizzlin'? No, the Sizzler. What's the Sizzler? I remember that being a thing back in the day. Shoney's is one that, like, it used to be great. Like any kind of a buffet place, like, what is it? Golden Corral. I think kind of those buffets are usually good. But Shoney's, like, they give you a tiny little glass. And the last time I went, like, you're constantly looking for refills because they won't give you a big glass. And then the last time I went there was, like, flies around and stuff. And then you go to pay. And it's like I didn't leave a tip because I was kind of short on cash or whatever. And you put your credit card in it. It says, like, do you want to tip 10, 20, 30%? Or hit here for other if you want to put 0. It's like the guy's just standing there glaring at you. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, they charge way too much anyway. And then you got a tip on top of it because people won't pay their workers fair wages. That's not my problem. It's ridiculous. I hate this, like, mandatory tipping thing. But I'm sure a lot of people disagree with that. They think it's like you got a tip. Culver's. Oh, and Freddy's or whatever it's called. Frozen custard, whatever. All those places like that. They are way too high. Very high quality food. But they charge an arm and a leg. Jersey Mike's, I've never had that. Qdoba. Olive Garden. Man, I went to Olive Garden one time, and I'd ordered some kind of like seafood thing with like the mussels. I forgot what it was called. And then I ordered like a soup or something as like an appetizer. I guess the woman didn't hear me order the first thing, and she just brought me the soup and brought me a bill for like $5. I was like, like I don't want to like make her redo the whole bill, so I just ate the soup and paid and left. I didn't even get my main course. Like, some people are stupid. I don't know. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree with my fast food ramblings. And are we going to be eating each other in the future? Possibly like in the next 3 months. I mean, I could still always just go out and shoot a deer. It is deer season here coming up.